Folks, where would you be? Where would you rather be than here with us right now? Thank you so very much for tuning in to another NAMCA podcast. And you know, we do the best we can at what it is that we do. That means bringing on amazing people. And today is no different. Make sure wherever you are, clap your hands and stomp your feet for the one and only DeAnna Katey. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's happening. We are here. We are here. Good morning, good afternoon. I've asked you this before, but officially on a scale from 1 to 10, how are you doing? 1 being, please make it stop, and can I start all over? 10 being amazing.
I would say 8.5.
8.5, I'll take it. Now, full disclosure, I always take credit for the higher numbers, but I don't take offense at the lower ones, okay? That's for my self-esteem. That's what I do. Anyway, great to have you here, DeAnna, and I let you know ahead of time what these first couple minutes would be like, and now you're prepared. So I want you right now to unapologetically brag on you. And I told you, if I feel like you're holding back, I'm gonna push you a little bit. I'm gonna push you a little bit. So unapologetically brag on you right now.
So my name is Dr. DeAnna Katey. I am the director for undergraduate student programs for the Center for the Enhancement of Engineering Diversity within the College of Engineering at Virginia Tech. I am originally from Louisville, Kentucky. And no, it's not Louisville. No, it's not Louisville. No, it's not Louisville. It's Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised, the home of the GOAT. Not me, not just me, but Muhammad Ali and some other great people. And I come from a single parent household. I made it out of the hood. I was able to go to college and graduate and get different opportunities. And I'm here now, and I didn't think that I would be here, but I'm excited. I am a crafter for fun. I make stuff, I created this.
Really?
Actually bedazzled it on my own. And then I also did this. So yeah.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead on that. I don't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
Oh, so I make stuff, and I see that you have some alpha stuff back there. I can make stuff potentially. Yeah.
Really?
So I'm not trying to get sued by your fraternity for.
They don't have to know the truth.
So, but I'm a crafter by fun. I love to make stuff. I am actually doing stuff with my sister who has a book out, and she wants me to like make stuff for her book called Uncle Sam's Daughter. And so my family always comes to me to make stuff and do things. So that's about me.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing so unapologetically. And if at any point you forgot something, like, hey, Sam, by the way, if we can go back, because I forgot some really amazing things that I want to share, you can do that. If there's no other place on the planet where you can do that, you can absolutely do that right here. All right. Just so you know. And by the way, we're going to talk about that later. I don't mind. We could definitely talk about that. I've been looking. It's really difficult to find someone. All right, great. So I want to dive into a couple of things, if you don't mind. You mentioned that you didn't know or expect to be where you are today based on where things started. Now, I guess folks can use their imagination, but I just want to go to how did you begin to, let's say, rise, from unfavorable starts and circumstances?
So one thing that I've learned and realized is that, honestly, God has put people in my life and put things in my life that helped me be who I am today. First thing is, I love to sing. And so I was always in church. I was always in the choirs. I was always like the lead singer and stuff like that for different songs and stuff at church and things like that. And that opened the door for me to actually go to, in middle school, I was a part of like theater and things. And I was able to audition to go to my high school. And so my high school is called DuPont Manual High School, and it has it's a magnet high school, and it has different programs. So it has a STEM program, it has communications, and it has arts. And I was a part of musical theater. So because
Wow.
I was a part of the theater program in middle school, the theater teacher told me about YPAS, which is the Youth Performing Arts School that's a part of Manual High School. And I didn't know anything about it. And I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and audition. And I auditioned, and I got accepted to the high school. And which was also a part of the YPAS program. And I was able to go to school and not only learn like my academic stuff, but I was also a part of the musical theater program where each day I would have to essentially walk from the high school, the main high school building, across to the annex part of the high school, where I took dance classes, I took acting classes, I took vocal lessons and things like that. Our school is tied to several different people. Nicole Schwarzenegger, the lead singer of Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
She came to our school. She actually went to our school as a student, and I met her when she was in the group Eden's Crush. A lot of people don't know about that group, but I have a picture somewhere with her, and it was amazing. My teacher, one of my teachers, her name is Gail Benedict, actually worked with what is the Gregory Hines. She was in the musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I
Really?
actually have another teacher who's a theater teacher. His name is Billy Bradford, he was in The Insider as an extra and had a speaking role and all that. So I was able to connect with them. And because of those talents and because I was connected with them, like it opened my eyes to different opportunities. And it gave me the ability to think outside of the box of what I was going to do after high school. So I auditioned for schools in Chicago when I was a senior in high school to actually get accepted to, and I got accepted to Columbia College in Chicago for musical theater. And so I almost went to college for musical theater, and I wanted to become a musical theater teacher, just like my high school teachers. But then something happened and they lost like my scholarship or something like that. And so I had to take off a semester, but I ended up staying at home and going to a community college at home.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I knew about some schools in different areas. So I had a friend who was going to a school in Pennsylvania, and I wanted to get away from home because at that time, me and my mother wasn't necessarily getting along. And I was just like, okay, I need to get away. So I applied to go to that school, and I moved to the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania to go to school. When I tell you, it's literally the middle of nowhere. It's in the mountains in Pennsylvania.
Really?
It's called Clarion University of Pennsylvania.
Oh,
John
yeah.
Calipari went there and played basketball there, who is the coach of the University of Kentucky basketball. But I don't like
Their
that.
Louisville
So,
comes up again.
say it again.
I said their Louisville comes up again. It's
Yeah,
interesting, like
right.
Louisville.
So I went to school in Pennsylvania, middle of nowhere. It was like mountains. It literally snowed from the day after I got there until May. I got there January of 2004, and it snowed the day after I got there until May. It was awful. But I was there. I got connected with my mentor. Her name is Dr. Brenda Sanders Day, who was the vice president for academic affairs.
Yeah.
And once I got connected with her, she took me under her wings and she opened up doors and opportunities and let me go to conferences with her and everything. And that opened up doors for me to think outside of, okay, I just want to be a teacher, to maybe I can go back and get my master's. And then once I was getting my master's, I got connected with another guy whose name is Dr. Adriel Hilton, who is, he was a graduate student in the PhD program at Morgan State University. And I was thinking back, like maybe I should go and get my PhD, but I wasn't for sure because I had gotten connected through Dr. Day with some other people within higher education, one being Dr. Lori Kennedy at that time, but now Lori Carter, who's a teacher at Hampton in the English department now. And it inspired me to go back and get my PhD. So I looked at Morgan, I applied to go to Morgan, got accepted, and I moved to Baltimore, Maryland to start my PhD program at Morgan State. I was there, did all my classes, and so yeah, I graduated.
Wow.
I did my PhD. It took a little longer than normal, but 2019 I graduated with my PhD, and I'm here now. So
That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations. Listen, what's normal anymore? What's that? So
Right.
yeah, yeah, what it's done. That's amazing. And it's, you mentioned so many names. So for those of y'all watching and listening, just think about that, not just connecting with people, but remembering them and really applying not just what they've told you, but how they've modeled behavior. As you mentioned, someone that was your mentor, also Dr. I missed her last name, Dr. Carter. No, not Carter.
Dr. Lori, her name is Dr. Carter now. It was Candace
Okay.
when I first met her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Dr. Carter is now, Dr. Katey. Like,
Yeah.
again, it's birds. They say birds of a feather flock together. We are a product of the people that we hang. I think folks only say that when they feel like they're around amazing people. They
Right.
don't often understand that the same folds true when we're not around the right kinds of folks.
Yep.
So leaning on that being really important. I want to just go back just for a moment. You mentioned, your dance class, you're in the arts, which I absolutely love, amazing. I've done I think it's so, so important. If you don't mind, how important do you think the arts are, or again, dance classes, music classes, doing all those things that you performing arts, how important do you think those arts are to young people and beyond that, heck, adults?
Right. So the arts for me, like I've said this to so many people, if it were not for the arts, I would not be where I am today because that gave me the opportunity to see life in a different way. So I was always singing all around the house, always dancing around the house and stuff like that. But I don't think that had I joined the theater department when I was in middle school, that I would have known um, anything about YPass and all of that stuff. Like it would not have come up. And what I realized is that not only did it help me to learn new things, but it actually helped the way that I spoke and things like that, like how to phonetically read or pronounce things, because we had to take a phonetics class, like where it literally taught you how to write out words in a phonetic way to learn how to speak them and say them correctly. And so that gave me an opportunity to see things in a different way. I had to go to like different performances and like learn things that I didn't necessarily understand or know. And it allowed me to like travel across the city and perform in front of different people and be able to see different areas of my city where I grew up. Of I grew up trying to, well, my mother wasn't always stable, unfortunately, so we moved
Mhm.
around to different locations, but we were only in what were considered the lower income areas. So I was able to go out to like the St. Matthews area and the Middletown area, different areas in Kentucky, in Louisville, and like see what was out there that I didn't necessarily see. And then when we traveled outside of the state and stuff like that to do performances and things, that really opened my eyes to not only seeing the things that I wasn't familiar with, but it was like it gave me an opportunity to think outside of okay, there's more to life than just this little bitty area where I grew up. So the arts is really important, and I recommend them for anybody.
Oh, thank you for that. That's amazing. And when we're talking, obviously, I'm sure you see new professionals come in and out or find themselves in places. What's some advice you'd give to a new professional? Like they're brand new, and they want to enjoy what they do. What word would you have for them?
Um, I would say for new professionals to give yourself the opportunity to learn the job, and just know that even if it doesn't work out where you are, there's always different opportunities somewhere else. You don't necessarily have to stick with something just because you don't want to. You don't want to leave after a year or two. It's important for you to be able to find what fits with you. So get involved on campus, network with the people on campus so that you can start learning different areas of whatever different departments that you might not work with. And that's how I'm able to build, or I have been able to build different connections, is by volunteering to be a part of the different committees on campus. I joined the Black Caucus. I've joined the women caucus that we have on campus, just so that people can see me and know what I do, and I can connect with them and say, oh, hey, you have this. Can you come and speak to my students? So it's very important to stay connected with not just the people in your area on campus, but other areas on campus as well.
Yeah.
And you might not like what you do starting off. So that's why you want to get involved as well, because you might not like it, but it'll get your foot in the door. And then once you see something that you do like, you can go to that department and say, hey, can I help? And get you that experience that you need.
I appreciate that, because this notion of loving everywhere you're going to be, because there are folks like, I'm out of here. So, and then you don't realize that there are issues everywhere you might go. Like nothing will be perfect. So you want to escape something just to be in a similar situation where you find like, hey, what if I tried to change myself a little bit? Maybe that would help. And in that breath, of helping change oneself, what we do know is there are a number of associations out there. One of the best being NAMCA. We unapologetically plug ourselves all the time. But outside of that, is there something you think that associations could do that could help make your life easier as a professional, like professionally and personally? What blind spots do associations have where you're like, if they did more of this, it would make my life easier?
I would say more networking events and opportunities outside of just having a conference, because we all love conferences, but having something smaller that takes place throughout the year, just for people to come together would be good as well. Just having some type of social activities or events.
I love that. We kicked around the idea, but I think when you said that, in my mind, I'm literally thinking like, it could be 2 days, however long a conference lasts, but this entire time is built for building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So that you leave here, because what I'm sure you've seen this as well, whether it's the cool crowd that's huddled over here, the people who don't know anybody, they huddle over here. Everybody goes to sessions and then they leave and like, did you meet anybody? No, not exactly. I got 3 business cards,
Right.
but I lost them. That's really a brilliant thought and idea. Just notion of, hey, let's just have a social professional. You know what? Dr. Katey, you're on to something. We have to talk offline about this. So a couple other things, and I promise I'll let you go. What's some advice you give to the younger version of you? You've overcome a lot. You have pushed yourself. Hopefully you've enjoyed and smelled some roses along the way and given yourself credit for where you are. But if you can go back and you just ran into you on the sidewalk as a teenager or first-year college student, what would you tell you?
I would tell me it's okay not to be perfect. It's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you make those missteps. You're going to recover and you're going to learn from this and you're going to move forward. So don't dwell on the mistakes that you make. Just don't make those same mistakes again.
Hey, that right there. See, the best mistakes are the ones you don't make twice. Really appreciate you. Any final thoughts, words you'd like to share with anyone? Heck, maybe there's a higher ed pro out there that's also seasoned and you're speaking to their spirit right now. Speaking to the spirit, anything you'd like to leave with them or your colleagues that, heck, maybe they need a little bit of pep in their step, a little bit of love, or, a kick in the rear, anything.
Please stop leaving. We need y'all. It's higher ed is not for the faint of heart, but we need higher ed professionals who care about our students and who care about the progress of higher ed. So there's a lot of people leaving. We need people to stay, and we need people to put in that work to make sure that our students are getting what they need so that they can go out and be successful citizens in the world. So please stay. We need you and we love y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you so much. That spoke to my spirit as well. Absolutely do. And there are folks out here, and leaning on the point of networking and building relationships, part of why folks might also be leaving is because they don't feel like there's anyone else like them. But that's not true. But I think what we're doing right now and what you've expressed is, hey, I'm going to help you find each other so that there's that support system to grow, develop, and really, really appreciate and love what you do, while getting better at it, while improving ourselves. That being said, listen, Dr. Katey, you're good. You're good, all right? You're a little bit of a ring. You tried to play low, and then you came in here. I like your champ. Thank you so very much, Doctor. And thank you. You could have checked me in the beginning. I appreciate you for giving me some grace. Doctor, I knew that and I forgot. Dr.
No,
DeAnna.
it's okay.
Oh, no. I'm going to call you what you call yourself, okay? Or better if I can. But in this particular case, Dr. DeAnna Katey, I really, really appreciate you for spending some time here on the NAMCA podcast. If you're watching this or you're listening to this at any point, feel free to leave your comments on what your favorite takeaway was, what you learned, and how you can lean into you a little bit more to live the life and to be more, do more, and have more. That being said, I'm definitely going to lean into the point, Dr. Katey, and that's you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to make a little bit of progress because effort on fire beats knowledge on ice. This is Sam Pearson, second year to hear first. Thank you so very much, Dr. Katey. Until next time, y'all, make your next move your best move. Peace.